vehicle. It could just be anomalous,
advanced,
or advanced. It could be anything that can go after A.
So you don't know what that is?
I don't.
This is a pretty interesting image here.
It is. And then the text that accompanies it describes the incident.
And what can you tell us?
Yeah, the summary of that is just how it unfolded. I should actually back up and say the image itself was unique. This isn't by a plane or a satellite. It looks to be an image pretty close to the waterline. So something that to me read is we have a clandestine submersible asset close by this fleet, and it's taking pictures, trying to stay unnoticed. And so yes, in the description, it basically lays out what occurred that night, which was that the RE collection assets were there in area monitoring Russian naval vessels. Not sure what they're doing there, but they've been hanging out in the middle of the ocean in this place apparently for a few days. Keep an eye on them. And this night, while they are observing the Russian vessels, a large black triangle materializes or decloaks or something. The point is it did not move. It appeared directly above these ships, probably no more than 200 meters, pretty close. And interestingly, as noted in the report itself, there was no visible reaction from these vessels from what would almost certainly be considered a hostile approach.
What do you take away from that? They didn't notice it, or they're not upset about it, or they don't know what to do with it, or what?
So the implication also in the text describing it was, the analysis in the text was that the Russian Navy had foreknowledge that this vehicle would appear in that area of the ocean, and they were there specifically to either collect on it themselves or to interact with it in some way.
Any indication that it might be theirs, that they knew it's going to be there because they control it?
Not in that document, and I haven't seen anything to make me think that they controlled that particular craft, but didn't see anything to the contrary either.
Well, I guess it could be that they've seen it.
Although it is interesting, if it's something that's part of their environment, as it were, why are they making an effort to, if it's something that's part of their environment, as it were, why are they making an effort to be in this space at this time to collect on something they already know about?
Is it like in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, it's off the coast of Kamchatka, as I recall.
It kind of implies to me, if I'm thinking outside the box here, there's some form of comms or communication with whoever the operators.
Literature out there that can help narrow down.
So Immaculate Constellation. You've never heard this term before, and it doesn't give you the full picture there, but what other additional information did it give about what this was and how it operates?
Just describe the events and that analysis of the event of the Russians having foreknowledge to be there, and describing.
Someone needs to collate them together to provide intel to who needs it, and we're assuming, or not assuming, it's been pretty laid out, the Immaculate Constellation was a kind of place to bring everything together to provide those briefings to senior leadership. Is that correct?
I don't know about to provide briefings, but definitely to collect data from the military intelligence enterprise specifically, and the sensors associated with that. And yes, to collect that data, centralize it, and have it there for presumably both analysis and...
Immaculate Constellation was used?
Until I wrote one, yeah.
We'll get into that, but instead of go through people will be so curious. So what comes on the fourth page? Talk us through the pages. Just go ahead.
On the next episode of Weaponized.
When I was in USDI, I read the transcripts of Sean Kirkpatrick briefing Senator Rubio, Senator Warren, and Senator Gillibrand on the results of his investigation in his congressionally tasked Arrow report. I read these transcripts once and immediately knew that,
Veiled threat?
No, I knew that I was now something else. I had inside knowledge into the deception of our government by elements of our intelligence community. My blood ran cold at a specific point in that transcript where Mr. Rubio is discussing the legacy program. This was a subject of direct discussion with Sean Kirkpatrick in these meetings. And based on Mr. Kirkpatrick's replies about as vague as they were, but unable to escape the truth of the legacy program, Mr. Rubio's response is distortions on the inside.
Distortions of truth.
Exactly, but also, bureaucracies and offices behaving weirdly. That was one of the moments that really under our government's control.
In part 2 of our interview with the author of the Immaculate In part 2 of our interview with the author of the Immaculate Constellation report,
So the idea that it could have been a war game, could it have been something, some of these UFOs that had been seen over
None of the rest of his investigation in his congressionally tasked Arrow report. In those transcripts, which were supposed to be open kimono, here's the truth, Mr. Senator, Mrs. Senator. Sean Kirkpatrick absolutely distorted.
Saying what? What did he say that was a lie?
I read these transcripts once and immediately knew that.
Yeah, it comes on the fourth page. Talk us through the pages. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, like I